Welcome to the old principal. 我就是老校长, and this is an English instructional program. We will speak English. We will use English to explain English. We will use some Chinese. 如果我能够的话，用一点中文. And what we intend to do is to help our listening ability. So we're glad that you have joined us. I think you will find this series, 这个系列, very interesting. Lots of stories from many different sources. In fact, some stories are my own. Okay, with that, we now come to lesson number 1, 001. That looks like a good place to start. Okay, the title of this lesson is Wild Things in the Dark. Wild Things in the Dark. Okay, now I must explain one thing though. When it says wild things, you don't know what the things are. You have no idea. So it could be anything. Usually it's 这个野兽, wild animals, wild things, or 鬼, or maybe even 怪物. It could be many wild things. Has also wild sometimes has 乱七八糟的意思了. So wild things in the dark. But you see this little girl? Okay, 她很怕. And that's the story. But before we say much more about the story, Connie will read it to us. Then after she's finished reading, Connie is my wife, by the way, and after she is finished reading, we'll look at it sentence by sentence.
Number 1, Wild Things in the Dark. We all go through stages of fear. At one time or another, most of us have been afraid of the dark or something else. Here is a cute story that teaches a powerful lesson. A 5-year-old girl would not go upstairs unless one of her parents went with her. Her bedroom was on the 2nd floor. These requests for mom or dad to accompany her to go upstairs averaged 10 times a day. Inside her room, she checked her closet and under the bed, and then Mom and Dad could leave. Her parents could not keep her from being so fearful. Then the parents decided on a plan. They gave their daughter 3 tickets at the start of every day. The tickets were just plain colored paper. For the parent to accompany her upstairs, she had to give up one of her tickets. No ticket, no escort. If she ran out of tickets, she would either have to stay downstairs until bedtime or make the fearful journey upstairs alone. For the first few days, her tickets were gone by lunchtime. She begged and cried and threw tantrums, but the parents remained firm. No tickets, no go. On the 4th day, she used her 3rd ticket by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. For the next few days, she managed to save the 3rd ticket to just before bedtime. Then, quite suddenly, she announced to her parents, "I'm not afraid any more." She started to go up and down the stairs many times a day by herself. Somehow, the wild things she imagined never bothered her again. There are two things I liked about this story. The child was forced to deal with her irrational fears, and her parents did not totally abandon her. There are two responses to fear: fright, like the little girl, or flight, in other words, running away from our problems. We must face our fears and deal with them.
Welcome back. Here we go. We all go through stages of fear. Now, fear is 惧怕, right? 惧怕. So, if we all go through stages of fear, that means that fear has 不同的阶段, you know, light and heavy, and so we all face that. In fact, every one of us at some time was afraid of something. We all are afraid of things. So, we're going to now look at Wild Things in the Dark. We all go through these stages of fear at one time or another. That simply means that sooner or later, sometime, usually when we're younger, of course, most of us have been afraid of the dark. 我们很怕这个黑暗, okay? Or something else. It could be anything. It could be anything that we're afraid of. Going on. Here is a cute story. How do you want to translate cute? 可爱吗? Okay. This story is a cute story that teaches a powerful lesson. 它是带来一个, what do you say? Powerful lesson? A powerful lesson, 强有力的教训. Lesson is 教训. Okay, let's go on. A 5-year-old girl would not go upstairs unless one of her parents were with her. How old is the little girl? She's 5 years old. She would not go upstairs, 上楼. Now, in American houses, sometimes they have 2 layers. So they have a D-low or E-low and R-low, okay? So we have 2 floors, we say, 2 floors. And she was afraid to go upstairs by herself. 她一个人上去太可怕. So she needed, it says, unless, 除非 one of her parents, 她的妈妈, 她的爸爸, went with her. The bedroom, her bedroom, was on the 2nd floor. 是在第二楼, okay? 她的卧房. Going on. These requests for mom and dad to accompany her to go upstairs averaged 10 times a day. That means 平均, every day, average, okay? Every day she would ask her mom or dad 10 times to go with her, 陪她上楼. Well, maybe for a while it was cute, maybe it was funny, but it gets really old. 10 times a day is a lot. Okay, going on. Inside her bedroom, that's in her room, her bedroom. She checked in her closet, 衣柜, okay? And she checked underneath her bed. And then, after she had done that, she would say, okay, Mom, Dad, you can leave, you can go. So you can see she was very fearful, 很怕, right? Going on. Her parents could not keep her from being fearful. 没办法使她不怕。没办法. So, when her parents decided that they had to do something, they decided that there had to be a plan. And here was the plan. 她的计划是这样 going on. They gave her daughter 3 tickets. 3 tickets? Okay. 3张票. So they made some tickets. Okay? Okay. At the start of every day. So, in the morning, you get 3 tickets. The tickets were just plain colored paper. 是普通彩色的纸头. Very, very simple. 3 tickets. And at the beginning of the day, this is what she received. Going on. For the parent to accompany her upstairs. 那么为了要父母亲 okay, parents, 家长 to accompany her 护送 to go upstairs with her, she had to give up. Give up means just to give over. I know. Give up, okay? How many tickets do you have, sweetheart? Okay, I have 3. Okay, I will take you upstairs if you give me 1 of your tickets, okay? And then I say, no ticket, no escort. If you run out of tickets, nobody is going to go upstairs with you. So, let's go back there for a second. And it says, no ticket, no escort. 没有人护送的 escort. Or 没有陪伴 or 陪同. Okay. Anyway, a person to go with you. Okay, going on. If she ran out of tickets, 用完了, to run out means to 用完, she would either have to stay downstairs, so she couldn't go upstairs to her bedroom, she would have to stay downstairs until bedtime, or she would have to make the fearful journey all alone. All alone. When it says fearful journey, it just means 她必须一个人上楼. But sometimes we say fearful journey, 这个旅程, you could say it that way. Obviously, it's not going a long distance. It's just from downstairs to upstairs, okay? But we say fearful journey, 可怕的旅程, okay? But it's just 上楼, okay? Going on. For the first few days, her tickets were gone by lunchtime. Okay? It takes a little while to get used to things like this, right? First few days, her tickets were gone by lunchtime. 到中午餐的时候, 她的3张票已经用完了。Oops! Now she had a problem. So every day she had to stay downstairs. Okay. Going on. She begged and cried and threw tantrums, but the parents remained firm. Okay. 他们就坚持到底. No tickets, no go. Now let's take a look at, there's a few things here I'd like you to look at. She begged, to beg just 哀求, okay, to beg, okay, and cried, 又哭, and it says to throw tantrums. I don't know. Have you ever seen a child throw a tantrum? Okay, what is a tantrum? They lose control, 失控, and they're angry, they're upset. 你说这个生气也可以说, but a tantrum is more than that. Usually, a tantrum means that they are 喊叫, and they take their hands and they pound it on the floor, you know, and they're just you know, very, very upset, crying all the time. Okay, this is a tantrum. Okay, so she begged and cried and threw a tantrum. But the parents remained firm. No tickets, no go. 没有票，我们不去，不跟你一起去。Going on. On the 4th day, she used up her 3rd ticket by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Whoa, 开始有进步啊。On the 4th day, she used her 3rd ticket at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Doing better, doing better. Going on. For the next few days, she managed to save the 3rd ticket to just before bedtime. 再过来3天呢, the next 3 tickets, 3 days, she managed. What does it mean to manage? To manage 是管理, okay? But sometimes she managed to do something means 她的设法 or 想了办法, 想办法, okay? 保留 save until just before bedtime. Of course, at bedtime, Mom and Dad would take her up anyway. So she's using her tickets, and she's able to do more and more and more and more and more until finally it's almost bedtime. Okay, maybe it's about a week by now. Okay, about a week. She's been using these tickets for about a week. Going on. Then, quite suddenly, 突然间, she announced, 宣布, I am not afraid anymore. Nope, I'm not afraid anymore. Surprise. Going on. She started to go up and down the stairs many times a day, all by herself. So, the question is, what made the difference? Well, let's go on. Somehow, the wild things she imagined never bothered her again. The wild things, 那些她乱想的，那些想象的那些野兽怪物 whatever they were 鬼啊 never bothered her again 再不麻烦她了打扰她了 or she was peaceful at this point going on. There are two things I like about this story. Well, of course, I am the old principal and I'm always looking for some lesson in it. I said it's a cute story. Remember at the beginning I said it was a cute story with a powerful lesson, 强有力的一个教训. Well, here it is. First of all, the child was forced to deal with her irrational fears. Okay. The child, okay, 必须 deal with 应付 or 对付他的 irrational fears. That's a good word. Rational means to use your mind logically, okay? So irrational means that you are not using your mind. 惧怕但是不用思想的 irrational 不合逻辑 In fact, you could have said illogical 这个also irrational, illogical fears. Irrational meaning she was not to begin with, she was not using her mind. Okay? And her parents did not totally abandon her. Her parents did not totally abandon her. 父母亲不会完全不理她 abandon her. They were there to help, but they forced her kindly to deal with their fears. Of course, we all have to deal with our fears. If we have some fears, 我们必须对付他们. We must deal with these fears going on. There are two responses to fear, and they're easy to remember. One is fright, the other is flight. Okay? Now, fright meaning 惧怕, 怕得要命, okay? 怕. Okay? So, fright is one. This was the little girl. She was fearful, okay, like the little girl. Or flight. And it says here, running away from our problems. Many people run away from their problems. 逃离他们的问题. They are not willing to face the issues. 他们是逃离他们的问题. Going on. We must face our fears and deal with them. We must face our fears and deal with them. 我们必须面对我们的惧怕而对付他们. Well, actually, when you say face and deal, just like here, to face 面对我们的惧怕 and deal with them 对付他们. To face a problem and to deal with a problem It's very close to the same meaning, a little bit different, but it's pretty close to the same meaning. When I say I must face my fears, that means also that I must deal with my fears. So, there you have it. Have you ever been fearful? I mean, you look back on your childhood, like I look back on my childhood. And there were times when I was afraid of the dark. We had chickens. 我们是养鸡啊. Well, I mean a few, not a whole lot. And so it was my job to go get the eggs. And I always forgot until after it got dark. 我都是黑暗之后，晚上黑暗之后。Whoa, I've got to go get the eggs. And just like the little girl, I was afraid of wild things in the dark. And I ran as fast as I could. Of course, when I came back, I could not run. Do you know why I could not run? Because I was afraid to fall and break all the eggs. So we must deal with them. I really don't know. Eventually I grew out of it, or my dad told me that there was nothing out there to hurt me or something, and I was no longer fearful. So there you have it. Now, at the ending of our programs, we share with you always our email address. 我们的电邮的地址是 theoldprinciple@gmail.com。我们也有一个网站 www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, it's been great having you. Invite a friend and join us next time. Until then, bye-bye.